I had just come back from Saudi Arabia. It's a good point in it. And she's very judgmental about that culture, which is a more dominating culture. Women can't do certain things or whatever. And yes, that's a different culture. They're working out their system. They're evolving as they go. But I said, it's not all bad. You can't just suddenly judge everybody. It's not all bad. I'll give you an example. And I said, I just was invited to a dinner party when I was teaching a class there on gender differences. They're very open to relationships and so forth. But anyway, they took me to dinner at night. It was 11 o'clock at night because it's hot during the day, under the stars in the desert. And there were like little tents some places, but lots and lots of tables, over 1,000 people at this restaurant. And nobody was looking at their phone. They all have phones. They all have, these are rich people. They all had nice cars and everything. None of the kids were on their phone. None of the people were looking at phones. And particularly it was the men talking to men and women talking to women. And I think that would be a better world if we had more space for men to talk with men. Because when men talk with men, their testosterone goes up. When men listen to women and women appreciate men listening, their testosterone will go up. But if men talk about their feelings and she's talking about her feelings, estrogen goes up in a man and testosterone goes down. So I'm just giving the warning. Psychology is telling all women that if you want to connect with a man, ask questions, get him to talk about his feelings. Why do women want to connect with a man? They want to connect with a man because when he detaches, you can be in a conversation with a guy, and this is good for dating as well. You could be talking about something and it just touches a button inside of him. That button could be, what does she expect from me? Or what should I do about this? Or is that correct? Or that isn't my experience? Or now what am I supposed to do? It's just he's pondering how to react to what you just said. When he ponders to react, he will disconnect from you. Now, this is my favorite thing, Lauren, one of the favorite things my daughter Lauren teaches women, which is as soon as he pulls away, rather than feel like, did I say something wrong? Or is he not interested in me? Did I upset him? And every woman knows that experience, which is they suddenly detach. And when a man detaches, it's very different from when a woman detaches. A woman detaches when she doesn't feel safe and she's unhappy with you, or she doesn't feel understood and she's judging you. She pulls back. It's like a little bit of resentment or dissatisfaction. She detaches. Men detach just to think about something. Okay? They disconnect from their feeling side, going to their Mars hormones to analyze, what should I do about, what should my response be to her, what she's talking about. And when he detaches, then women say, what are you feeling? And now he says, he doesn't know what he's feeling because he's thinking. But all you have to do, rather than panic at that moment or feel like you have to penetrate him, is just simply say, oh, you're thinking about that. And he says, yes. You'll immediately get a yes, and you'll feel connected. Because ultimately, when men detach, biologically, it's for a different reason than when women detach. Now, I'll tell you the biology of this. This is the physiology of this. When we're feeling at ease, we're making a nice balanced hormone for ourselves. When we start to feel adrenaline, a little stress, this is little problems, a little problem to solve. When women have a little problem, they have 8 times more blood flow to the limbic system of the brain, this emotional center. 8 times more blood flow under little problems. If the problem is big, then women disconnect from their feelings completely and they become a warrior. Okay, cold as ice, tough, whatever. So that's a woman being detached. It takes a lot for a woman who loves a man or is interested in a man to detach. And he has to perform poorly for her to detach. But if she's just a little stressed, it's going to be 8 times more blood flow. Well, that's adrenaline. So you can measure in a woman when she has adrenaline, she has all this blood flow to the emotional part of the brain. When adrenaline is being produced in a man, it disconnects him from his emotions. You decrease blood flow to the emotional part of the brain. If you're a man and you drive fast, you notice you really like it because you have no fear. You see, these guys climbing mountains, could die in an instant. It's because they're free of their emotions. They get to completely become mindless. They're doing their action. It's like freedom from all these concerns and worries and frustrations. So that's why guys will tend to drive faster because once you get into that adrenaline zone, you're at ease. There are no other problems to distract you. You're not frustrated you didn't make money, of this person at work, or this not getting enough sex, whatever it is. Just drive your car a little faster than the speed limit and you'll make adrenaline. And that adrenaline will calm you. And if your wife's sitting next to you, she'll have adrenaline too. And she'll start feeling all these.
She'll be hanging on to the car going,
which, by the way, which is a good technique. My wife, we figured it out together. Men do not like being told how to drive. Men do not like being told directions when they're driving unless they're asking. If I'm asking, different story. But if I don't ask for help, don't give me help, period. If I'm not asking for help, don't give him help. But you can ask things for yourself. You can ask for help. And so if he's driving in a way that makes you feel unsafe, you need to ask him to slow down. Now, that's tough when a guy is in a state of adrenaline to hear you. And it's kind of like, well, she wants me to slow down. Now she's driving. I thought I was driving. You know, there's a frustration that many men have, women giving instructions. And a matter of fact, you can see this whenever there's a man driving a woman around, or when a woman is driving a man around. In most cases, it's because he got so tired of her telling him how to drive. Okay, if you know how to drive, you can drive. It creates peace. And of course, he's now waiting in this, depending on her for security and safety, just makes him more feminine, makes him more irritable over time. And she's feeling more stressed over time. This is the best foreplay, is having a man drive. When a man drives in a way that makes you feel comfortable, this is massive foreplay. If you feel safe at a time where there is danger, you know, when you get in a car, it's really danger. We suspend the belief that it's danger, but women's body knows it can be dangerous. And her body needs to be assured again and again that it's safe. So when my driving, so many fights happen in the car, but
it's the guard trips.
So true. But anyway, so Bonnie said to me, well, if I'm uncomfortable, don't you want me to be comfortable? I said, yes. So how do I tell you to slow down? I thought I couldn't figure out a way for her to tell me to slow down when I'm really driving and focused without my being a little annoyed and irritated. We're just trying to avoid all the annoyance and irritation. Finally, I came up with the answer. I said, all you have to do is don't say anything. Just grab the handle. If you grab the handle, it's like sign language. You know, it's very primitive.
Like her trying to brake a little bit, right?
Brake. She just holds the handle. It's a signal. So she gave her signal, and then this is like discussed beforehand. You give this signal, and then I'm going to put my hand on your leg, on your thigh. I'll just reach over and touch your thigh and say, I did that for you. And she then says, thank you. And she truly feels thank you. It's not like you should drive slow. You see, women can get into what you should do as opposed to what would help me. It's a big difference. It just comes across as disapproval and blame and control and I failed, as opposed to asking for help. So this is asking for help. And I slowed down. And then what's my reward for that? I put my hand on her thigh and I said, I did that for you. We did that for 30 years. I mean, this was so sweet. We did it with yellow lights as well, because I always run a yellow light and some red lights. Okay. So no, he's around. So
we're not recommending that.
I don't recommend that, of course. But and I'm not a person, just I give good advice. All right. So we see a yellow light coming. I stop, even though I could easily go through a yellow light. That's not illegal. And I stop because that's what she feels most comfortable with. I stop at yellow lights. I put my hand on her thigh and I did that for you. And she says, I know, and I appreciate it. See, it's giving me credit. And it's not my big ego. It's simply, my big ego. I don't have a big ego. I can give my talk and people can clap or not. But if they give me a standing ovation, makes my day, makes my memory. It gives me more. It bumps my testosterone more. That's what a marriage can be, a relationship can be.